strange thing is Chinese influence. Just 8 years ago, only the most devout anime fans knew that a lot of drawing and animation is routinely outsourced to China, and now the bigger world experiences a lot of actual Chinese animation, for better or worse. I personally have nothing against it. After all, all's fair in love, war, and capitalism, but as of late, Chinese studios have become infamously known for their poor production values or strange choices in storytelling. Well, at least they're better than Indian animation. Evil or Live is an anime aired in Japan created by a Chinese studio called Shaolinger's Animation League, which people might know as creators of Blood Divorce and that recent anime about centaurs based on some either Korean or Chinese webcomic of the same name. Well, that is annoyingly confusing, but if I were a betting mask, I would say that this is probably a Korean webcomic. It certainly looks like one. South Korean entertainment industry can only do 3 things right: romance, horror, and proving that helping them in the Korean War was a mistake. Anyway, so as we begin our story with a real-life video that looks like it came straight out of some documentary about why games turn teenagers into Satanists, crying out in the 21st century, teenagers stop respecting parents, stop being productive members of society, and are turning into fucking wimps. And you know why? You think it's the ever-increasing rate of unemployment all over the world? Maybe it's the wave of existential depression they suffer because they break under the sheer weight of the oppressive post-industrial dystopia we live in? Maybe it's because most parents treat their children not as actual human beings, but as living investments, and then they cry as they strike them for bad grades or doing something they don't like. Nah, it's the internet. The internet addiction is the source of all problems parents have with their children. And so, we'll make a school that will cure internet addiction, and the school will be essentially a military training camp where poor nerds will have to live and become the perfect reasonable adult. A lying, manipulative son of a bitch that strikes only in groups and cares only for himself. Yes, truly this is not only the future we chose, but the future we deserve. Okay, sarcasm aside, this is another anime about a bumbling retard going into a prison and turning into a weapon, who you would never want to be near because you fear for your life. The industrial standard of teenage-oriented anime, but is it any good? No, not really. As you probably can tell, the premise of the anime is not only absurd and breaks all sorts of international laws, but also was done before so many times, and that it just automatically becomes irritating the moment you start to watch it. None of the characters are likable, even those who do have their backstories explained. In fact, for a long time this was all just reminding me of the Soviet prison dramas I used to watch back when I was in Angola. The graphics, while not berserk quality, is certainly low budget, as characters move like they're cardboard cutouts, and some scenes are clearly being drawn by different artists. The music is meh, but the only really notable thing about it is that for some reason they decided to roll the international in Russian during the last minutes of the anime. But the biggest problem the show suffers from is its length, which is a common problem of everything original or animated from a webcomic. If this was a 1 or 2 episode OVA instead of a 12 episode series, this would not only be better, but could actually be of some merit. Because as it stands, this is just another run-of-the-mill anime with a terrible ending about angst in an unfair world, because God knows we haven't had enough of those yet. And you know what's the saddest part? I wanted to make a joke about suicide right now, but thanks to some bastards I can't. Pray to Satan so that he could bestow a gift of anorchia to those fucks. Their existence makes it really hard to make quality black humor without blatantly breaking terms of service.